India is a very committed nation in terms of education.
The more you give and the richer you are.
We need to be far more critical of what we are doing.
E-books, e-journals, they can go a long, long way.
Faculty shortage is a disaster.
In the technical education space, we are about 6 lakh teachers.
There are colleges where electricity is not there, broadband communications are not there.
Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, despite the shortcomings explained, has put pressure on secondary education.
You keep hearing, you get ideas, you put them together and you can make a revolution.
I think it's a wonderful moment for me to share and feel part of this family.
It will bring a great revolution, the way the education is going to be conducted in the future.
The second edition of the World Education Summit 2012, we are proudly organizing it along with AICTE. It has been a major global platform for all education stakeholders across the globe.
Because of the large population of India, you have huge demand for school education, huge demand for higher education and huge demand for vocational education. And in all these three areas, the challenges are great. So our agenda was to bring in the experiences of various regions, various sectors and develops new ideas and linkages.
There is a concept behind, and it is that when we try to implement it on the ground, not only we as organizers, but also that every exhibitor who is participating and every delegate, all are totally committed and involved to this subject.
Our education policy stands on 3 pillars: access, inclusiveness, and the quality.
Education is also for living, for sharing, for growing, for culture, for civilization.
Learning can be done very well from this, but this needs to be supplemented.
When we look at it in an integrated fashion and when we look at an entire holistic learning solution, I think we can do wonders. We can really inspire minds and transform lives.
I wanted to change the world for dyslexics of all ages. And to do that, I wanted to construct innovative screening for use across the world.
We need to make a policy decision somewhere and realize that all our institutions, no matter what way they are run, can become research or quality institutions overnight.
Policies of higher education in other countries, particularly in Asia Pacific region, in Middle East, in Latin America and Africa, how these countries are shaping their policies, because today India is competing with all these countries around the world.
In most countries, particularly in Africa, we have a challenge of the skills mismatch. We have been able to produce a lot of graduates, but most of those graduates are now out in the streets.
World over, an IIT graduate and IIM graduate is readily accepted by any country, by any company for employment. On other hand, you have schools, you have colleges which do not have toilet facilities, where water doesn't come.
We must not only all the time worry about what managements have to say or how the infrastructure is going to be. If you have one smart class in your class, that's enough. In your school, that's enough.
The Government of India had taken very ambitious steps, particularly in the last few years, where major initiatives have been taken to build additional infrastructure.
UNESCO organized a very interesting regional high-level experts meeting to reflect on what is the status of education for all now, as well as what is the education paradigm shift.
The most critical factors that are being looked to today to drive these economies towards a sustainable future is research, innovation, and entrepreneurship.
We should share our product or value addition during the university time, not just giving a degree and sending home.
However, whatever circumstances may be there, but still
teacher is the biggest connectivity between a student, or you can say a child, parent, as well as the society.
Skilled worker, as an example I am telling you, if I just double inbound tourists, not much, hardly 5 million to add in my tourism sector, we need around the 3 crore skilled worker.
How do we enable them to build their careers, their opportunities on a future, when you look at it from a future point? Do they have skills at a schooling level? Are the skills being developed?
In simple words, ability is the underlying capacity, the underlying potential, like the potential in a seed. A mango seed is going to become a mango, an apple seed will become an apple. When you've got the underlying ability and you match it with a skill, then you get a talent.
India has a great potential advantage in terms of demographic dividend that is fortuitously being available to us. And if we fail to harness this demographic dividend, not only the future generations will never forgive us, we would be squandering an opportunity that comes into the life of a nation only once.
Most of these graduates and engineers we produce are not worth much. The quality is poor. So therefore, in the 12 5-year plan, our emphasis is going to be on quality.
Actually, GER is to provide opportunity to people in the relevant age group to enhance their knowledge, competencies and skills to become more productive and useful for the economy.
We are in the midst of a very crucial period where there is a possibility that we may be able to create a world-class education for our young.
We need to create a knowledge society that has a practical base, practical use for the people.
Our new generation, they are digital natives. It's most of the time we come to class instead of teaching, we are coming for our self-learning.
It's a planned and purposeful managing students and making sure that you enhance the experiences of the learning in a classroom.
Information technology, communication technology, there are a lot of new tools that are coming which are rapidly changing. Today, the education sector is changing much faster because of these.
Children require these curiosities to be triggered, and there are ways and means of doing it.
I come from a team of MIT professionals who have made OLPC, one laptop per child, which has been adopted in over 55 countries and which was called by former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan as a vaccine against literacy.
I am very concerned. How are we going to bring in innovations and keep them coming is one of the concerns that we should all have.
If one institution or a school integrates personalized learning, how do the schools change?
Personalized learning has not been defined with different accents by different authors, and different authors have said different things about it.
Are children prepared enough to come in a transition from a traditional thinking school to a personalized creative school?
We are forgetting one very large segment of our population, and that is children and adults with disability.
This is a very good gathering of a lot of people.
It will be a good brainstorming session, first of all, and people will go back with new ideas.
From this conference, I'm going to take away personally as many things as possible, reflecting the best practices and the next practices which are followed in different countries, and that would shape the next practices that we are going to follow in our own country.
After listening to the great speakers in these 2 days, in different sessions, I think we will foresee the vast difference in day-to-day Indian education system.
The excitement and the action here is so encouraging.
Good thing is this time you introduce school track.
The debates that are emerging are very, very interesting. People are coming up with very unique thoughts. We expect the change to percolate.
Wonderful way of bringing all different policymakers, practitioners, teachers and academics.
I hope these exchange of ideas will translate into better practices, educational practices, back in our own respective institutions.
This has to be implemented by the apex bodies like MHRD and other key apex bodies.
In how many ways that it can be used, which educators would not have imagined.
Exposure to modern technology, which is there in terms of exhibition. This is what I find a big change.
Also gave an opportunity to understand what are the products which are available in India.
Creating the awareness of the people, importance of digital learning, and also the future of the education, some of the methodological advancement.
On one side, it is people with lots of knowledge and they are reservoir of knowledge and experience. And on the other hand, there are people who want to do a lot in the field of education.
We can have better networking with the people all around the world at one place.
Indian education is huge. According to the presenters, it is the second largest education market in the world. So that means there are a lot of opportunities as well as the threats, as well as the challenges.
We have a Next ERP to manage schools platform. Then we have TeachNext, which is for the curriculum.
We have very innovative products in all the categories, which is teaching, learning, assessment and governance.
We created hands-on activities which are the concept which they can apply in a real life scenario.
We are developing different kind of material in the field of distance education that related to the colored sim material or specialized dictionaries.
So we are introducing a new education solution, that is a cloud-based tablet solution. eTutor Tab is our brand name.
We aspire to really assist and improve the teaching learning process.
Master of Science in Information Technology, Master of Science in Computational Sciences, Master of Science in Geoinformatics, and we do have research programs also.
We set up English lab and manage it. We run many tests like from NASCOM, NAC and NAC tests in colleges and engineering colleges across India.
Whatever you have, that is, you can automate like your admission process, your fee and everything that you can automate.
Complete interactive solution for education, ultrasound for interactive projector, interactive board, IR interactive based solution.
We can even be considered in the same league of international exams like IELTS and TOEFL that are used for overseas admissions. So this is a new kid on the block.
We engage through our animations, through our evaluation tools, through our mind maps, through our discussion forums.
Which caters to K-12 sections from 1 to 12. And currently in the last 2 years we have approx 200 schools across India.
An on-screen marking solution that we have brought into India in association with RM Education. Their product Scoris Assessor. We have contextualized into Indian context and that product has been showcased here.
This is a software that caters to end-to-end student lifecycle management.
Psychometric analysis, which can be done for the school's children. And also we have introduced 24/7 green labs.
We install the hardware as well as the software, as an aid for the schools to teach the students.
We have full line of equipments which includes interactive boards, interactive devices, classroom response system.
It's helping psychologists find out what's wrong with people in terms of their functioning.
A teacher can demonstrate anything to all the students, and even teacher can see what all the students are doing. He can control each and every computer from his desk.
Starting from the classroom, chairs and tables for students and teachers, till library, laboratories, cafeterias, everything for schools.
We take care of the assessment part for teachers. Now it's very easy for teachers to enter just their marks and it gets automatically converted to grades.
The magazines that we are publishing, printing, Digital Learning magazine is the most successful. And it became successful right from the first issue, which indicated to us that there's a demand.
We are subscribing to Digital Learning magazine in our school, so I think it's very well received by the students as well as by the faculty.
It improves my own teaching methods.
The print media is the one which takes to all the people, cutting across distances, cutting across time.
This network is generating a lot of energy, and not only at the information level, but also at the exchange level.
I think it will add on to the knowledge and to the skills of the teachers, and it's going to go a long way in enhancing their capability.
Technology goes into the class or goes into the education. Whatever that we have been achieving today, we can do it a lot more faster.
I think the biggest advantage of online-based resources is its ability to provide access to people in a country like India.
The magazine covers a lot of contemporary issues on practical issues and a lot of people who are writers are actually practitioners in the classroom. So they come up with real practical answers and challenges that they're facing.
We do have a shortage of teachers. We do have a shortage of certain relevant content. And I think so the magazine Digital Learning, by tying up all of these issues together, by addressing all of these issues together, is doing a human's job.
These magazines are working to propagate the effective use of these technologies. These are very useful.
If we can have theme-based magazine on the current issues related to education, it will serve more purpose and it will remain as a permanent copy with the people.
Digital magazine will go a long way, and when it reaches to the right hands, it will be beneficiary for the younger generation.
World Education Awards in order to highlight innovations and excellence in education. Schools, higher education institutes, colleges and companies have applied majorly in this, and it has been one major platform which has helped highlight innovations and excellence in education.
Whatever you are being awarded today is a glimpse of our education system.
These criteria, when they are really inbuilt in these awards, is very, very heartening to see.
To recognize all the good initiatives that are happening in many sectors, and I really am very excited to see this happen.
Definitely there are success stories here, and these success stories should be mentioned, should be known to people.
I really wish this forum to progress and country to progress along with it.
This summit will be the worth for the nation, building as well as educating the young India.
I would like to invite organizers to come to Sri Lanka to have the World Education Summit in Sri Lanka.
Whatever seed has been put
in this summit of 2012 will continue to grow.
Students can be involved, because students, it's very important to listen to their perspective.
The path you are taking is right, and maybe you should expand it to include extra regional countries as well.
We need to get educators from countries like China, Singapore and US.
I would like to see more regulators.
Whatever I have gained right now in these 2 days, let me go back, let me implement.
The energy and the momentum which I got generated and the enthusiasm which I got generated for World Education Summit is amazing. And we are seeing that the next event will be much bigger, much better, with a lot more varied experiences and high-level experts who will be here to discuss about education opportunities, challenges.
I am confident that the deliberations and recommendations of the World Education Summit 2012 in the name of education, research and innovations, exploring new frontiers for a knowledge economy will help in drawing attention to the best practices and knowledge and to promote innovation in education at global level. I congratulate organizers of this seminar and wishing all success in the name of God.